In session. Yes. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining our session today. My name is Thato Garekoe. For those that have never met me before, I am the founder and CEO of Rekisa Digital Solutions. And with me, I come with my team. They are here, they are in the background, just helping with the tech. But I have my whole team here actually. And together, we would like to host you, and we're honored and grateful that you've taken out some time from your busy schedule to join us for this free webinar on go-to-market strategies, right? So that you can reach your audience within your particular business, within your particular niche, and ultimately find ways of creating relationships with this audience so that you can convert them into customers and basically advocates of your brand, so that you can generate more audiences and more customers for your business. So how the session is going to run is I really tried my utmost best to exclude elementary academic info. I'm quite a practical person. I like sharing practical examples based on the tools that we use for our own business, and various examples that we've been exposed to. All right. And the session will run for around 60 minutes or less. I know that we changed it to like 1640, but that was just an admin edit. We're not going to have a 90-minute session. It'll only be for 60 minutes or less. And as I mentioned earlier on, that we will share the recording with you so that you can view it after. Okay. So yes, so we are from this business called Rekisa Digital, and we actually going through a phase of repositioning our brand. Normally, for those that have been engaged with our business, you'd know us as Rekisa e-commerce solutions. But because of the different solutions that we offer in our business, we decided to call ourselves Rekisa Digital. And the main reason for that is because we are on a mission to help clients to connect and to sell to their customers. And that methodology basically manifests itself through our e-commerce solutions, where we help you to create online stores and sell to your clients online, to helping you to reach your various customers through digital marketing and sales enablement solutions. And then lastly, through academic support, where we train you on various marketing tactics, strategies, so that you can implement yourself or through your marketing team within your business, right? So those are the three core services that we provide in our business. There's a fourth arm, but we treat that as a different business unit altogether, and that's our cloud business, where we consult various businesses on AWS cloud solutions. So the point of this session today is to help you figure out and really just clarify how you should get going into the year when it comes to go-to-market strategies, or GTM strategies, as some people would call it. And basically, go-to-market strategies are strategies on how you can access your market, be it you are launching a new product, be it you are repositioning your entire business, be it you want to reach new customers or new customer segments. Those are all parts of go-to-market strategies. And I stand here in front of you. I'll share briefly what my experience is. I'm a qualified marketer. I've helped businesses with their strategic brand communications, and I've been in this space for over 12 years now. I'm an entrepreneur and a trained manager through training, if you may put it that way, as Rekisa is my second business that I have founded, and I've been running it for the last 5 years now. So in the period that we've been running our businesses, we've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners in really just helping them to navigate the space of marketing, particularly digital marketing. But I stress that I am no expert. I'm no guru. I don't know all the answers. All right, I don't have all the answers. If anything, I'm a learner and I love sharing insights. I love sharing tools. I love sharing strategies because I believe that we also learn as we share these elements that are required in effective digital marketing. All right. So everything that I'll be talking about is mainly on the digital marketing spectrum. And then there's a couple of assumptions that we've made. We've made assumptions that you are running a business, and in that business there are products, and those products have their own pricing strategies, or you have your own pricing structure when it comes to your business. I say this because part of a go-to-market strategy is to clarify what type of revenue channels you need to generate. But I'll touch on that a bit later. All right. So we will make assumptions that you have that piece figured out. All right. But if it's not clear to you, or you're looking at getting into a new revenue channel, and I might touch on it, by all means, please feel free to ask us those questions. Just for the sake of time and a seamless experience for everyone, if you have any questions, please type out your question in the chat, and then Matlako or Brandon will read out these questions as we go, and then I'll answer them so that everyone has that knowledge. All right, cool. Let's get going. So it's 2025. A lot of you are either ending off your financial year, or you are ending the financial year, getting ready for the new financial year, or your financial year might have started. But for most of us, it's a new year. January to December is basically a calendar year, right? And in 12 months, a lot happens. We set up these strategies, we set up these goals for our businesses. We set up plans on launching new revenue channels. And similar to some of you, I feel quite overwhelmed actually whenever I think of these plans and I think about the amount of work that needs to get done. It's quite overwhelming if you think about it. But there are ways and easier ways that technology has introduced to us to identify who we want to engage with and sell these products to. There's easier ways to help us engage with the people that we've identified on digital platforms and tell them about our product, through tactics such as paid ads or email marketing or chatbot marketing, right? And basically go-to-market strategies combine all these elements, and it's almost like a framework, and we will share this framework with you after the session as well, so that you can use it for your own business. All right. And the first topic, or the first touch point of this framework, is really just understanding your market and the customer insights that come from your customers, right? I'll make an example about our business. So for our e-commerce business and even our digital marketing business, the niche market there are business owners, right? We engage with business owners, we engage with decision makers within businesses. We have our own reasons as to why we want to engage with those people as our first contact point, right? Because we believe that if we engage with the decision maker, then they can tell us to either go away, they happy with whatever current solution they have, then we didn't waste our time, we still managed to save our resources. Or they can say, I love your solution, let's work, but I am not going to go over my team. I'll introduce you to the manager who will help you to execute. I'm just making an example now, right? But for us, we believe that engaging with the business owner or the business or the CEO or the CFO or the CMO just helps us to get decisions made much faster. But we didn't thumbsuck this. We learned it through experience. And the first touch point where we realized who our customers were, or where we wanted to experiment with who our customers were, was through a platform that we adopted, and it's called apollo.io, and I'll share the screen as to how it looks like. But before we used Apollo, we kept on telling people, no, our clients are SMEs, right? But the world of SMEs is massive. There are 2.5 million registered SMEs in South Africa, all working within different industries and niches. And so that's how far we took our so-called persona design, right? We were like, no, our clients are just SMEs, right? But Claiborne is a different customer from Malebu, who's very different from Elise. They are in different industries. They have different team sizes. They probably generate different revenue, right? And so it wasn't enough for us to just say SMEs. For us, we need to say, okay, cool. Our customer is a Renai who is of a certain age, who's of a certain job role, if we put it that way. His business generates a particular revenue level. They hire a certain number of people, and this is the industry that they work in. And essentially, once we identify who those customers are, we need to figure out what problem they have, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Remember that I had mentioned we the first step is to engage with the customer and understand what they're looking for. Brandon, can you please tell me if you can see my screen and is it moving, my Apollo screen? Brandon or Matlako, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. All right. Lovely. Great. Thank you. So this is Apollo. What Apollo is Apollo is an email outreach platform, and it helps you to identify your most appropriate or your most ideal customer, right? That you would like to provide your services to. Assuming that you are clear with what services you provide, assuming that you are clear on your value proposition, and I'll touch on these pieces later. Now you need to identify who your customers are, right? And we've been using Apollo for 4 years now, 3.5 years or so. And basically, Apollo has helped us to identify these customers that we want to work with, right? And that is the first step in our go-to-market strategy, where we want to work with the specific decision makers that I was talking about earlier and how we treat this. So there's a couple of things that will happen as I am showing you through all the different touch points. Just some disclaimer. I know that we have regular people that have been with us, and we just come out of a workshop. So if I'm sounding like I'm repeating myself here, I am not. All right, I'm just touching base on some aspects that consist part of your go-to-market strategy. Okay. So now, for our e-commerce business or for our sales and marketing business, we have created different types of customer personas because we want to make sure that we are engaging with the right person on the right platform. Apollo is an email marketing platform, right? It helps us to reach out to the people that we want to service the most. So how we would design this is we would say, okay, we want to talk to the owner, the CEO, the MD. We'll even add the manager, right? And then once we've identified that, we want to limit them to like the South African region. But if we had the appetite, we could even go as far as to other countries. And how Apollo helps us to find these email addresses or these individuals is that it has a database of over 300 million professional email addresses. And these email addresses are categorized by role, by companies that they work in, by revenue that they generate, and the number of employees that they employ, right? So I added here South Africa and United Kingdom, and there's a couple of things that happened. If you pay attention to the top left corner, you will see that currently the total number of professional emails is 22,000, right? So there are 22,000 CEOs, owners, co-founders, that are available for me to reach, right? But maybe 22,000 might be too wide for us, too wide of a target audience, and we will just focus in on South Africa. So 22,000 has changed to 3,300. Once we've identified the CEOs that run businesses in South Africa, maybe we want to target based on how many employees they may have, right? And we want to make sure that, okay, we have a very focused view of who our core customer is. So we will untick these bottom ones that we initially had, and we want to engage with businesses that have employed between 1 to 100 people, right? For us, we may believe that, we may feel that that's probably our core audience. And as I go to the next stage, we might want to target them based on industry. So the reason why I'm showing you all the different elements that you can choose to target them by is that you can either have them in one great pool in terms of like your segmenting, or you can have different segments. You can have CEOs that work in the hospitality segment, and that's one of your customer personas. You can have CEOs in the retail segment, so that's persona number two. Persona number three being in law practice, so on and so forth, right? So that you can design your communication based on the industry and the niches that they focus on. But for our specific service, which is the marketing service, we would target, this is just an example of some of the industries that we would work in. Once we've done that, there's another quite powerful tool here that if we take off, can help us to engage with the person who is actively looking for this particular service. So what this means is we want to engage with these CEOs that work in these industries, and they are currently looking for paid advertising services. They are currently looking for sales engagement software. They are currently looking for digital marketing services. So what this piece does is it helps us to basically only engage with people that are actively looking for this particular product, right? But it needs some form of refined data. I would probably have to refine the data up here and then give it a bit more information so that it generates the leads of those CEOs that are looking for these services. You could even target your audiences based on the revenue that they generate, right? If you are working within a specific industry and you want to work with businesses that generate up to $1 million, which is what, 20 million rands, give take, then you can select that and the list will be even more refined. So once you've refined your list, now we initially had 2,000 people, and now we have 142 CEOs that have companies in South Africa that work in these industries, have employed between 1 to 100 people, and basically generate $1 million a year, right? Once we've done that, this is who they are. And all the green ticks basically means this is a real email address. It's a verified email address. And I have to stress that it is only their professional emails that we get access to. We don't get access to their personal details because the professional email is in the public domain. They have a website that has a domain, and this system that you see in front of you basically has the capacity to almost mine what that email address is within all legal privacy constraints. All right. So once we've done that, then we add them onto what we call a customer list. And once we've saved that customer list, we add them onto a sequence. But I'm going to pause there, right? I'm going to pause exactly there because the sequence is part of our next level of our go-to-market strategy. So now we are selling our marketing services, and we've positioned ourselves in the market to say there's no one better than us, right? With respect to our competitors, there's no one better than us. We do what we do really well, but these are just assumptions. It's important that our assumptions are validated. And some of the ways that we validate our assumptions is by engaging with the customer directly. Whether we identify the customer the way that I have shown you from Apollo, and we send them an email to say, hello Elise, hello Mahlako, my name is so-and-so. We're currently doing a survey, and this survey wants to test out what the appetite of small businesses is when it comes to digital marketing. Or we want to know why SMEs are not adopting digital marketing, right? We ask them these questions. Please feel free to click on the link to do the survey. Maybe not all the 142 CEOs will respond because they've never heard of you, right? But you will get some form of response from a handful of them. Happy to participate in your survey. That's the one way that you can do a survey. Or you can engage with your existing customers and run a survey in understanding okay, cool, what is the problem that they are currently experiencing, and are they open to giving you feedback on the problem that they are experiencing. An example of how we ran a survey using WhatsApp is we used, this is one of the other tools that we use. This is called ChatFuel. And ChatFuel is a chatbot creation platform that basically helps us to create chatbots powered by AI. and publish these chatbots onto our social media platforms. That's to say, Facebook and Instagram, and also publish the chatbot on our website and also on WhatsApp. So last year, before we positioned our marketing business the way that it is right now, last year around September, I think, we ran a survey, right? Initially, we would have needed to run Google Ads, or not Google Ads, but Google Forms, and share that form on email. But we weren't getting a lot of engagement. And so we were like, we need to engage with people that are currently sitting on their phone and obviously incentivize them to do the survey. But there are various other quiz platforms that can help you to create a survey so that you can engage with your customers. Google Forms being one, Survey Monkey being another one, and Vivo, a bit more advanced as it's for people that are doing deep research. But if you understand how it works, it can give you some really good insights. But the most simplest, most basic, in my opinion, is running a survey using a plugin such as ChatFuel that allowed us to run the survey on WhatsApp. So how this survey was designed was, we wanted to know, we were looking for appetite, or what appetite people have when it comes to training, right? What do people want to know about training? Are they happy to do training, short form training? And we also wanted to understand what the opportunity for marketing services was. Are people willing to part money for the marketing services that we would offer them? And then we offered them a 50% discount on our next training session if they completed the training. And remember, this is still the first stage of your go-to-market strategy, because you've identified your users. That's to say the decision makers, whoever it is that's going to be parting money with you, right? And now you need to do a survey. Whether the survey is to your existing customers or it's to people that have never heard about you, right? There's various ways that you can generate feedback. And how the survey went is, we created these questions, and then what you see in the white sections are the buttons that our customers basically clicked on. And this gave us a really good view, right? Using a very simple system, it gave us a good view as to where are people at, right? What level experience do people have when it comes to digital marketing and the tools, right? It gave us a view as to what topics or what platforms are they more interested in advertising on. It gave us a view of how interested they are in upcoming training, or some of the other services that we want to basically offer them. It also gave us a view of the urgency that they may have when it comes to adopting e-commerce, right? And I can go on and go forth, in terms of the types of questions that we asked them. But the numbers that we were more interested in are the percentages, right? In understanding what percentage of people think e-commerce is very important for them. And how that informs our decision making is, all right, so how much more e-commerce advertising should we drive in the market to our targeted users, so that we solve the problem of e-commerce platform for our customers, right? How important, what's the percentage of customers that are looking for digital marketing services based on the people that we've surveyed, right? If there's a high number, then, okay, let's solve this problem, right? Let's try to find out what more do they need when they say they have problems with digital marketing. What is it that they want to learn, right? And we just kept on refining that process until such a point where we engage with the customer to say, okay, if we had to have a solution for this problem, would you be willing to engage with us? Then we can get a simple yes, no, maybe, right? But it's a conversation starter. It's you're opening up a conversation, and that's really how you start to delve into the problem that you're trying to solve. All right. So once we have done that first two steps in terms of understanding who we are trying to solve our problem for, the next level was, of course, what I've asked you. Ask the right questions to the people that you feel or you may think they may have this problem. One of the challenges that we have as entrepreneurs, right? According to gurus, is that entrepreneurs, we tend to fall in love with our solutions. And it's okay, because it's our solution. We think it's the coolest solution ever. And we tend to overlook the research part, right? And there's various ways that we can do research. We can do normal Google research to understand what people are actually looking for. We can even engage with surveys, like with customers through the surveys or the interviews. But do not underestimate the power of just having a conversation with the customer and trying to understand what is the problem that you would like, or even the desire that you would like to be solved, right? If I'm in the position to solve this problem, by all means, this is something that I'm happy to help you with. But are you willing to listen to me? And most importantly, are you willing to exchange money with me in solving this problem, right? Brandon, you had, okay, no, I see you just sent a request. All right. So that's basically the first step in just understanding how you get to understand your market that you work in and understanding your customer insights, right? The second level of this is your product positioning and messaging. So remember when we started the session, I had said we have three revenue channels, if I may put it that way, or three businesses that have various revenue channels. And each business basically has its own positioning, right? And what positioning is, it's basically taking your so-called value proposition. I'll be with you now, Brandon. What positioning is and the value proposition is basically taking your so-called promise, your so-called value proposition in the market, and positioning it amongst your competitors that makes you stand out from your competitors, right? And examples of this, and Brandon, I'll be with you in a minute. Examples of this is with our e-commerce business. For our e-commerce business, our positioning statement for our e-commerce business is everything you need to sell online, right? That's the positioning. We are a SaaS e-commerce platform that helps you to create your own online store so that you can sell to people all over the internet and around the world. That's our positioning in regard to our e-commerce platform, right? If the customer wants to carry on reading even further, then they may feel compelled to because of these landing messages that they may see on our website. Another example that I liked in terms of a positioning statement, or even the positioning, is from one of our partners called Infobip. And basically their positioning is reach more customers wherever they are, whatever they're on, right? So Infobip is a digital communications platform, and it basically helps you as a business to engage with all of your customers across all the different platforms that they are on, right? So if, let's say, for example, you guys received the invite to this webinar, if we were using Infobip to communicate about this particular webinar, you would have received it on SMS, you would have received an MMS around it. You would have probably gotten an automated call inviting you to join this webinar. You would have received a DM, you would have received an Instagram message, or rather through DMs, you would have probably received a WhatsApp message, right? But the whole point of Infobip is to really just provide you with an omni-channel of several touch points that you can engage your customers on. And that's basically their positioning. That's their value proposition in terms of how they showcase their solutions to the market that they serve, right? For our academy, it's short courses for business owners that want to thrive in the digital world, right? We all have these different propositions and different positioning mechanics that help us to stand out in the market. So I'm not going to stand in front of you and say, do not position yourself in this way, do not position yourself that way. I believe you are much closer to your business, and you may have a closer view of how to position your business. But what I will say is it probably gives you more flexibility to position yourself on something that cannot be replicated by your customer, right? What I mean by that is, if you say we are the cheapest in the market, that may be limiting, because then your competitor that may have more resources than what you may have, then they can just outprice you. They can just outcut or undercut what you're currently offering, because they can afford it, right? And if they do that, then how else do you provide your positioning and your proposition? So my whole point is try to position yourself in ways that are very hard to replicate. So another way that we position ourselves is we have best talent in terms of insights and skills, right? Our team are certified Facebook ads managers. They certified Google ads managers. They are certified Google analytics managers. They are certified AWS cloud practitioners, right? And if you understand the amount of time, dedication, and resources that it takes to get and write an exam and a certificate from either one of these platforms, then you would appreciate the positioning that we use in terms of like our knowledge, right? Because our competitors can do it, but then the learning curve will just cost them even more resources and time to do it while we are getting more market. All right. Brandon, you had a question before I carry on.
Yeah, I just wanted to convey two questions that came up on the chat. So the first that we have is from Emmanuel, who represents Mr. Jeff Laundry Ravonia.
Yeah.
He says, thanks for the insightful presentation. His question is, where did you launch the chat fuel survey, and was it through your WhatsApp numbers or deployed online?
Yeah. All right. So, Jeff, how we deployed the survey is the main platform is ChatFuel. When you set up your account on ChatFuel, there's a WhatsApp number that they either give to you, that they generate for you, or you buy a SIM card from your retail shop and you use that number as the WhatsApp number that can be used for your ChatFuel bot, right? Once you've done that, there's a couple of hoops that you need to jump over, as like tick boxes on your Facebook and Meta business account. Your Meta has to be a business account because then they give you access to their WhatsApp business API. Once they've done that, then you are able to basically run these surveys, because you would either load your existing customers, that you have numbers for. You would load those numbers on this chatbot, and you would be basically able to design the survey and send it to your customers. How your customers receive it, they receive it as a normal message, and they just need to click on the different buttons that basically helps them to get onto the next stage of the survey and complete it in order for them to get their download. All right. But basically, we designed the whole thing on ChatFuel, and that's how we were able to execute our survey. All right. I hope I was able to answer your question, but I'm more than happy to expand further after this session, as we will have time for more Q&As.
Thanks so much, Thato. Thank you, Emmanuel, for the question. Our next question comes from Claiborne, and he says, thank you for the session so far. It has good value. His question is, if I identified a problem that exists and sort of went about solving it first, having to show where the problem is, how do I tie it back to the preferred process?
Sure. Claiborne, that's a really good question. And I think the best way for me to answer is experimenting, right? Experimentation is probably one of the best ways that gives you some room of just playing around. And I'll use this WhatsApp or rather our series of our webinars, as a way of experimenting. What I mean by that is we've always wanted to generate content, right? We've always wanted to just get leads to come in and engage with us, where they don't have to feel nervous about exchanging money with us before they test out our product. So we were like, let's start webinars. Let's just do one webinar. That's how it started. Do one webinar on this particular topic. Let's engage it. Let's position ourselves as experts in this topic. And after that, let's do a follow-up to the people that came into this meeting, so we can understand if they got some insights. And from there, those that got the insights, let's do another follow-up to find out, do they have a need for the product that we were talking about? So right now, I'm talking about go-to-market strategies. I haven't really spoken about my products that I'm offering you guys, right? So everyone is comfortable. I'm not asking for money from anyone. What I am doing is I am positioning myself as an expert within this particular subject matter, so that tomorrow, as a result, a customer that may feel we need e-commerce, they can think of us. A customer that may feel we need marketing, they can think of us. A customer that may feel, no, man, we need to dig deeper in this go-to-market strategy. The first people that they can think about is Rekisa, right? So that is experimentation. And you might find that through all these different tactics, and you try to tie it back and it doesn't convert into a sale, I think that's okay, because when it comes to experimentation, you just need to have a learn fast, fail fast type of mentality so that you can try out the next level of tactics that could get you closer to your customer that would convert. All right. Did I answer your question, Claiborne, in terms of your particular topic that you're looking for? All right. Awesome. Great. All right. Shall I carry on? So once you have positioned your product or messaging, or rather your product and your messaging, the next space, which I touched on briefly, but I believe that everyone has this under wraps, right? Maybe you may need an idea as to how else you could do it. It's the pricing strategies and the pricing models. As service providers, we all are used to sending a quotation and waiting for that quotation to be paid by the customer, or the customer must pay 60% before we do the work, and then they do the balance after, right? That's one way of a revenue channel. Other revenue channels that we've been playing around with are subscription revenue channels. And the reason why we've been playing around with subscription revenue channels is because it's repetitive, it's recurring revenue, and we are able to forecast and plan our business much better, right? So parts of the different pricing strategies that we play around with is the recurring revenues for our e-commerce business. So for this business, we know that we generate revenue from the once-off setup fees if a customer wants us to set it up for them. And then after that, they pay us a monthly fee, right? Another form of revenue generation that we were considering, and this is an MVP for our online academy that we're currently working on. Another revenue channel that we were looking at in terms of the services and the digital products that we sell is we're looking at selling ebooks that talk about a particular topic, and we sell it first and foremost dollar base, right? We made it on purpose that we wanted to sell dollar base, and there's various reasons for that. But part of the reasons is we want to reach a global audience using a global currency. The second reason was the fact that we want to hedge ourselves against the weakening rand, right? So the pricing strategy within this academy is to sell ebooks first and foremost as a digital product. The second strategy was to create online courses or even online consulting services where a customer who may need some form of coaching on a particular subject matter that we've positioned ourselves as experts on, instead of them speaking to one of my sales team, they can just come onto our website, click on this particular coaching that they may need, and ultimately this is the landing page. They see all the reasons to believe, all the reasons to sign up, and they can click on buy the coaching session. They pay using their preferred payment method, and ultimately once the payment has been confirmed, they get an automated email with the meeting link or a calendar that they can choose a time and a date, and then ultimately they've secured time with us. Whereas traditionally we would have needed to get onto a call or an email or a message, right, and do a back and forth with the customer until the customer has paid, and we have to also chase the customer. So while we're still doing that, our academy is generating revenue through the monthly subscriptions. It's generating revenue through the automated process of just buying a once-off service, and we're also generating revenue passively from other digital products that we've designed, right? And this is what, 4 revenue channels that are over and beyond our day-to-day type of business, where we still have to run a workshop and we get paid for that workshop, right? Because it's a live workshop. So when I talk about the revenue channels or the pricing models, I'm really just talking about finding ways of how you can generate more revenue within your value chain, right? Are you currently being paid for consulting? And if so, that's great. How else do you think you could get paid, right? Try to almost automate your insights. Try to automate your expertise, and have short online courses that you sell at a fraction of the price that you would normally charge for your so-called consulting. Are you a current expert in designing product, in producing particular product? Then maybe find opportunities to generate extra revenue by providing insights on some of your so-called recipes or tactics or tools that you may use, right? But basically, with working out revenue channels and business models, you are equipping your business and giving your business another chance of how it can position itself in a highly competitive world that is becoming more and more automated. Regardless as to what industry you may be in, automation is just making things much faster and much cheaper. And so you always need to consider how you can change your business models so that you de-risk yourself from just relying on one revenue source. All right. Are there any questions on this part of revenue generation and business models? If there is, please feel free to add your question, and I'm more than happy to answer. All right. So now the next step is to identify your sales and distribution channels. And I'll also say your marketing channels. And this is probably where a lot of people might get lost, might get intimidated, might have felt that they experienced a lot of waste because they don't know how to start. So I'm going to go back to my persona example, and I'll show you how you can create different targeting in terms of the audiences that you engage with from your initial persona, and how that can manifest itself across all the other platforms, right? So now you've packaged your product. The product is ready to go to market. You've identified the different business models or pricing or revenue models that you want to employ, and you've identified your different types of customers. The first touch point that I would encourage you to consider is consider the free platforms, right? So free is word of mouth. Word of mouth is free, unless you want to pay an affiliate marketer or network marketer in exchange, for money or product if you give to them. That's basically free marketing if you're not exchanging money with them, right? But in a digital sense, outreach emails are free in the sense of this platform that I'm telling you about. It can give you access to 2 sequences, and it also allows you to download at least up to 250 emails per month. So once you've identified the CEOs that you want to work with within the industries that they work in, you basically will go to sequences. And your sequence is your email campaign. Your sequence is basically a sequence of emails that you've created to engage with this customer. Think of all the emails you are getting today, right? Whether they end up in your spam or they end up in your inbox of people that you've never heard of before. They've never engaged with you, and they're trying to provide solutions to you. Some of them are not so great. Other ones are quite effective in terms of how they've positioned it. And it's almost like they've saved you time because now you have the solution right at your doorstep, right? Outreach email using Apollo is one of those tools, and now you can have access to that particular platform. How it works is now you've loaded your so-called CEOs and you want to sell your services to them. This would be an example of email number 1. You have to design your email in here or get the AI tool to help you. I'm not going to touch this one because it's part of a live campaign, all right? But basically we tell them that these are the services that we offer. And this is our profile that you can check out. I'd love to have a meeting with you. The reason why we do outreach emails is so that we can get to engage with our identified audience as fast as possible, right? Without wasting our time and without wasting their time. If this is a service that they believe can help them, then at least they can tell us immediately. I have to warn you though, with email marketing, there's a lot of touch points. The stat last I checked, which was a year and a half ago, it was that you need to have 8 to 9 to 12 emails that you need to send to your customers. I've only stopped on 2 because we published this just before the December holidays, and we've paused it since, right? But ultimately, I need to add another step as a follow-up. And essentially, that step can be sent within 3 days or 5 days from the last time that the last email was sent. And I repeat that process where I engage with my respective audience, right? I would write my email here, I would write the subject here, and ultimately the customer would receive it. This side is just a view of how it would look like. And once I've done that, the goal here is to get a meeting with the client, right? That's really how we use Apollo as a tool, is to get a meeting with the client. But we need to make sure we're not spamming them. So we share valuable, insightful, educational info with them, so that we just give them reasons to really just consider us and engage with us in future, right? Once we've set up our email campaign, there's a way that we would take all 5,000 of these CEOs and basically target them again on LinkedIn, right? And on LinkedIn, we would basically target them using LinkedIn Ads Manager. This is just an example of one of the ad campaigns that we've designed on LinkedIn. And I wanted to show you the different audiences that we've identified. Ultimately, LinkedIn, similar to Apollo, it also has an audience capability. And these are the different audiences that we reached out to for this particular campaign. But there was also a way that we could load our 5,000 contacts from Apollo. We load them onto this particular campaign. And once we've loaded them, what happens is that they will receive the email. So let's say Monday morning they receive the email. And then Monday afternoon, when they are on LinkedIn to take a break, they will see our advert. And then Monday evening, when they happen to be on social media, that's to say they are on Meta platforms, then they will see our advert again, right? And basically what that is it's integrated and it's an omni-channel approach. So this is an example of how we design our audiences on Meta, right? They are in these cities. The minimum age is 18. It's people that have either come to our website or have engaged with our social media platforms. They are interested in all things business and finance and small businesses. And we also believe that our CEO is probably interested in some of these different pages or topics. So our advert that they would have initially seen on email, they would also see it on LinkedIn. They would also see it on Meta platforms, not WhatsApp, but Instagram and Facebook. We could even push further and say on WhatsApp, but on WhatsApp, they would have needed to engage with us first before we engage with them. So WhatsApp wouldn't be a channel that we consider, right? And then ultimately, if they are looking for a particular service for the service that we provide, then they would see us on Google Adverts as well, right? So this is an integrated approach in terms of how you can engage with your audience that you feel may basically buy the service or the products that you offer, right? It starts off by designing the persona, the so-called CEO that has an office in South Africa and employs up to 100 people. They receive my email. If I have resources and capacity, then I can run ads on these different platforms that I've mentioned, right? For Google, the nice thing that you have with Google search is that it shows your adverts to people that are looking specifically for the types of products that you're looking for, right? So if I am looking for digital marketing agencies near me or in Johannesburg, then if I'm running Google Ads, that is, my service could be one of the services that this customer is basically looking for. But now again, because we are so almost tracking the customer and we're running an integrated approach, this customer will make sure that, okay, cool, they will see us, but they will also remember us. That, oh man, I remember seeing them on Meta. I remember seeing them on LinkedIn as well. As a matter of fact, the CEO sent me an email, right? So now it's integrated, there's different touch points, and it just increases your opportunity to engage with this customer because you are engaging with them on all the different platforms that they are on, right? And this influences your distribution, your marketing strategy, but also your distribution strategy in terms of how you advertise and showcase your products online, right? Not distribution in terms of like the product. But if we had to talk about distribution in the form of marketing, Another way that you can consider with distributing your services is by aligning yourself with possible partners that are in the same industry as you are in. I'll make an example of this particular webinar. It switched on in my head like a light bulb, because I forgot that we have a database of ESD partners. These ESD partners are also our clients, and they have various databases of SMEs that sit on their books. So we were like, hey, please, here's an invite to our free webinar about go-to-market strategies. Please share it with your communities. All right. When we sent the email, I was like, this is such a dirt thing. It's like so obvious. Why didn't we think of it 2 weeks ago when we decided to run this thing? But the current attendance was sitting, the signed attendance was sitting on 36 people yesterday morning. By this morning, that number had doubled. It was sitting on 76 people that had signed up for this webinar. And of course, like webinars is obviously like a drop-off point, right? But we've averaged 21 people that have attended. And that's lovely. We're happy with that, right? Because then we just repeat it. But immediately from there, I've identified a distribution channel to generate sales. Not only am I positioning the business in front of our ESD clients to say, Thato keeps running these webinars. Actually, we want to run a coaching session. Thato, come through, or Brandon from Thato's team, come through, run a half-day session, and they pay us for that. And then from that, the SMEs that join, they can also say, hey, man, these guys are really helpful. I can afford their services. I will call them. And now we have clients on both ends, right? That's a distribution strategy that we employed. People that sell clothes, there's various ways that you can collaborate with suppliers within the same ecosystem, and you basically sell a lifestyle by collaborating with other people. But basically, when you're distributing your product in the form of digital marketing, it's to look at your current network, affiliate partners, network marketing partners, and basically just try to find opportunities where both parties win. Right. If I sell T-shirts and the other person sells a hat, then we've sold a lifestyle, and that's basically how we provide our services. If Ali's services is in the financial sector and she provides financial education, and I provide business education, then we combine our services, and that's a way that we can actually distribute our services to our markets. Right. The markets are becoming smaller and smaller, but they are becoming more and more intertwined, because our needs that the customers have, they are changing so much that we end up overflowing into other people's environments, right? And so the collaborating is quite important in terms of just engaging with your customers. And then ultimately the last piece of this go-to-market strategy, and guys, I'll share the document with you so that you can have a look, and I'll make your day even better and show you how you do it with ChatGPT. But ultimately, the last piece is to track and test everything, or rather test and track everything. We use Google Analytics to track the traffic that comes onto our website. But we use Google Analytics because our website plays a vitally important part in our business and us generating leads from our customers, right? So Google Analytics helps you to understand who your users are, where are they coming from, which pages do they go onto when they come onto our website. How many times do they click on the contact us page, right? So that we know whether people are going on there to share their details with us or to just call us outright, right? We use Google Analytics to help us identify that. But we also, through the surveys, we do constant surveys to understand where our customers are at any given time. If we run the survey and we send it to 100 people and we get 20% response, that's fine. We're happy with that, because then it gives us some form of view, and it also guides us in just tweaking and improving our solution gradually, as we run. All right. So that's basically how, or at least that's our view and guidance on how you can set up your go-to-market strategies, right? But now, as I said, I'm not a guru. I'm an avid learner. And this knowledge that I'm sharing with you, I got it with my team. I got it from a platform from our friends called Business Model Analyst. And basically, this guidance is from a prompt pack. So if you've been playing around with ChatGPT or other or other AI powered platforms that help you to generate prompts. This is where we basically got this guidance. And I was like, instead of sending it to someone and getting them to just read about it, first and foremost, let's show the guidance and the structure and explain it in real terms and show you how it would look like, right? And how other businesses do it. But I'm going to share this document with the people that have come onto this session. We've paid for it. You don't have to worry about it. And we are partner with Business Model Analyst. And basically, these prompts that you see here, these are the prompts that you will share with ChatGPT. You don't have to add all of the prompts, but you can use some of them in really just helping you to develop your go-to-market strategy. All right. So there's various go-to-market strategies, if I may put it that way, under each of the sections, right? And you can add that particular prompt, throw it into ChatGPT, and it can give you guidance as to how you can approach this. It's very important that before you embark on this particular test, you obviously feed ChatGPT information about your business. Tell it who your customer persona is. Tell it what your business does. And then ultimately from there, then you would say, all right, cool. Now that you understand my business, please generate a list of questions that I can send to my possible customers in terms of like identifying what they may need, right? Create a survey set of questions that I can send to my audience so that I have a focused survey that can help me to identify their problems, right? And then just repeat that process. We'll share this framework so that you really just have a focused view of creating your own go-to-market strategy for 2025. And remember that a GTM strategy isn't something that you do once and you stop. It's an iterative process. You repeat it gradually, learning and applying things that you would have implemented or gotten from your experience and your responses from your customers, and you just really build on it from there. All right, and that is my presentation. I hope you found it quite valuable. I'm looking at the time, and I am conscious of the time. I will go into the questions that are in the chats. But if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and fire away, and I'll be happy to answer. But there's a question here. Oh, no, sorry. It was Clayborn that was saying he had to drop off. All right. Thanks, Clayborn. Thanks for coming through. But are there any questions on everything that I have mentioned and the framework that I have mentioned to you? Any questions from anyone? No questions. All right. Oh, yeah. Is there a question?
So I'd like to know, Thato, what your fees are to actually assist one to go through that process. Because, I would really be very interested to look through the recording again, but my effort won't be as thorough as yours because you've got experience. So I'd like to know what your fees will be.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Elise, and we would love to help you, right? In as much as I'd love to share our fees outright, it's not as clear cut as that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because no two businesses are the same. So the process that we follow in getting to a fee structure with you is we do a discovery call with you first and foremost. It's a 45-minute session online or in person. And in this discovery call, we try to understand what your business is doing. What have you done before? Who are you servicing? What you did do before, how did it work for you? What have you done in terms of paid ads, email marketing, and what are the insights from there? Once we get the insights from that discovery call, then we create a proposal that we feel could possibly be appropriate for your solution that you're looking for. And then that comes with different costing, right? Because we have various services. We have paid ad services. We have omni-channel services. We have email marketing services, SEO services. So that's why I'm saying giving you an amount outright, unfortunately, isn't as clear cut. But it's a session, or it's a process that is relatively quick. It takes us a couple of days from discovery all the way to proposal and quotation.
Well, thank you so much. I'd like to book
a
discovery session with you guys.
I'm with you. I'm
Shall
with you.
we communicate by email? Will you send me an email?
Yes,
You've got my
please.
details.
So what I'm doing is I am sharing my email address and my mobile number. The mobile number is available on WhatsApp as well. But because we have everyone's details that is in this session, we will also add our details in the follow-up message with the video. But Elise, please feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp or an email. Jeff, the same, because the both of you have shown that interest, or anyone else for that matter. And we'd be more than happy to help guide you on this journey.
Will do.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Elise. Thank you for coming through. Is there anyone else with any questions, guys, regarding everything that we've spoken about? If there aren't any other questions, I shall give you your day back. And again, thank you so much for joining this session. This is one of the many webinars that we plan on executing this year. This year, we're going to be a bit more disciplined. We're going to try to do 2 webinars a month at least that just touch on various elements when it comes to business or business in the digital realm and digital marketing. All right. I have shared my details in the chat. So if you would like to engage with us further with some of these topics that we engaged on, please feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, thank you so much. We will share the recording with you within 24 hours. And I wish you guys a happy new year and all the best with the rest of the year for your business. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.